Yo, what's going on, everybody? This is your boy, Doctor of Sports. Welcome to the Sports is My Medicine podcast. Welcome to your doctor's appointment. So check it out. I'm live in two different areas. So if you see me looking at one screen and you don't see me looking at the other, that's because I'm live on Facebook. I'm live on YouTube. So check out the subscribe to the YouTube channel if you're not on Facebook in my group, in the Sports and Medicine group. Or if you are um, not on YouTube, then subscribe or send me a request to be invited um, to the group on the Facebook page. So I said I had a lot of shit to say today, and I do because a lot of shit happened yesterday. Some good, some not so good. Nothing negative, so to speak, because none of this shit is really that serious to whereas you can call it negative. Um, but the first thing I really want to talk about is, and I thought I addressed this already. If you haven't, and that's the problem with people who don't have time or just don't want to subscribe to the YouTube channel and see some of my old posts, my old podcast. I did a full podcast on Lamar Jackson, and I thought I explained thoroughly um, how I felt about Lamar Jackson. Um, and it seems that for some reason Lamar Jackson is like somebody that you can't talk about or you can't say anything negative about without people getting all upset. And when I say people, I mean my people, our people, black people. It's like you can't be critical of a black athlete and it just be that, it just be your opinion about how good he is or how good he isn't. I've been saying for 5 years, 3 to 5 years, that I think Lamar Jackson is an exceptional talent. I think Lamar Jackson is one of the best quarterbacks in the league. Um, but Lamar Jackson's flaws are his inability to complete passes accurately in the pocket. So what that means is to everybody who keeps going crazy because I have this opinion of Lamar Jackson, that basically just means when when he's tasked to um, sit in that pocket and throw the ball 30, 40 times in the game to help his team win, I haven't seen him do that. So I'm still waiting on that. And the reason why he hasn't had to do it is because his team is never behind. Now, that's a testament to their defense, but he's never been an accurate passer. And the stats, the statistics back that up. I'm not just saying shit just to talk out the side of my mouth. His career completion percentage is awful. He's like in the lower 20s. It's like 64%. His career, his playoff passing percentage before yesterday was abysmal. It was horrible. So when I critique or when I say something negative about Lamar Jackson, it's not that I don't like the kid. It's not that I don't think he's a good quarterback. I just think he has things he has to work on. So we're gonna find out. We're gonna find out at some point, because that team's gonna go behind at some point if he's gonna be able to make plays within the pocket when it matters most. Um, I don't want to spend too much time on Lamar Jackson because I've done this already. All you gotta do is go to the YouTube channel, the Doctor of Sports, and look at the podcast about Lamar Jackson, and you'll see everything that I said about him. And if you're being objective, because we all love our black quarterbacks, and I do too. I'm no different. You'll see that the criticism of him is valid. I'm not just saying this shit because I don't like him. I ain't got no. I don't know that, man. It's just my opinion. And you get it's crazy because politics, religion, those are the two topics that's typically off limits. But there's some athletes out there that if you say some shit about, oh my God, it's gonna be a hailstorm. Michael Jordan, can't say nothing negative about Jordan. Lamar Jackson has stepped into that realm. Patrick Mahomes. I critique a lot of athletes, and it's just my opinion. I mean, that's what sports debates are. They're opinions. We all have them. Some of ours are based on factual information. Some of us are just, giving our opinion on what we see. I'm knowledgeable enough about sports to know that to talk it. I'm knowledgeable enough to know what I'm watching and be able to form a critical opinion. And again, he's a great quarterback, but he has flaws, and those flaws have been evident within the last few years. This year so far, they haven't been. So, kudos to that guy. So we'll see what happens next week when they play Buffalo or Kansas City. We'll see what happens if that team gets behind and they need him to make plays in the pocket, not with his legs, because when you take away his legs um, and he has to throw it, is when I have concerns. With that being said, let's move on to scripted sports. My man Carmichael, Perry, there's a few others. Look, I ain't here to shit on nobody's opinion. Y'all believe sports are scripted. Y'all believe gambling has a big role in outcomes of games. I think there's some validity to the gambling side of it. But posting the the logos of the Super Bowl, and because the colors of the logo of the Super Bowl match the colors of the teams that's playing, or match the colors of the teams that's potentially playing, I think is the most ridiculous shit I ever heard in my life. Um, yeah, is there some level of NFL wanting certain things to happen in order to make more money, or basketball or baseball? Yeah, I think to a certain degree there is. You got to put a lot of people has to be involved in fixing games, or or scripting a season, or making sports, making it the outcome like the WWE, where the outcome is already predetermined. I just don't believe that. Like, I seen my man Carmichael said the other day. He said on Facebook yesterday. I read a comment where um, he said the players don't even look mad when they lose. They look like they already knew the outcome. How do you even know that? Like, you were looking at people and saying, "Oh, he knew. Oh, he understood. He knew that this was going to happen, so he's not upset." Now I don't know. I don't. Hey, look, Carmichael say a lot of crazy shit, and that's my guy. That's my guy. And like I said, I ain't here to shit on nobody's opinion, but that was out there. I can't get with that. That you can look at somebody and tell, oh, he they lost that game, but he ain't mad enough. He's supposed to be more mad than that. Man, so he knew the game was already predetermined. Now, yesterday's game, a Green Bay game, if one could make an argument that Green Bay played great, or good enough to win the entire game, and then all of a sudden they couldn't get a first down, or they couldn't complete a pass. Jordan Love started throwing passes across his body, and so it seemed like towards the end of the game, yeah, you can say that. It looks like Green Bay was like they was on the tape. They was on. It was scripted. It was fixed for them to lose because San Francisco was supposed to win. I just don't believe that shit. I'm sorry. Sue me. It is what it is. I don't believe sports are scripted in that aspect. I believe yes, gambling plays a big role, but the outcomes of games are not predetermined, in my opinion. It just doesn't make sense to me. Um, as far as the game itself, it was a hell of a game. Look, Green Bay coming. Jordan Love made some bonehead plays late. San Francisco, look, I'm sorry, but Brock Purdy, I think he's a good quarterback, but without all his weapons, he's average. And he played that way until that last drive. They gotta have Debo if they're gonna win a Super Bowl. Right now, if I had to pick who's gonna win it, I'd say Baltimore's gonna win. And people who know I don't fuck with Lamar like that, probably like, oh, you can't say that because you be talking shit about Lamar. Yeah, I talk shit about him, but that team, it looks like they're the best team in football. It doesn't look like anybody can stop them. Defensively, it doesn't look like anybody can score on them. So intellectually, me knowing the game, they look like the better team than anybody that's left in the playoffs. So that would be my pick to win it all. Although I did pick Buffalo to come out of the AFC. Um, it's just something I got a feeling about Buffalo. We'll talk about that shortly. Excuse me, guys. So I'm just not with the NFL being or NBA or Major League Baseball being the outcomes being predetermined and all that scripted shit. But that Super Bowl logos that I keep seeing coming up on people's pages, I just think that's some of the silliest shit I ever seen in my life. And forgive me for being naive, if that's what y'all want to call me, whatever. It's just that shit just silly. I had some people in another sports group basically be very extremely disrespectful because of my criticisms of Lamar Jackson. I meant to say this earlier when I said it's like you can't criticize a black quarterback being a black man without people getting upset at you. And all of them wasn't black, but I get a lot of criticism from my people because I make criticisms of African American players. Well, I make criticisms of all players, not just players of color. I'm not making this a race thing. This has nothing to do with race. I just believe our people. We say it all the time. We always coming for our own people. We don't come for everybody else. It's a sports debate. It ain't that fucking serious. We just having sports debates. It's fun. It's fun to debate. It's fun to argue. It ain't supposed to get personal. A lot of people say I make it personal sometimes. Well, I think with text and with commenting on posts and that sort of things, anything can be lost in interpretation. That's why when you texting somebody, it's easier to just call and talk to them. That's why I don't like texting a lot and all that shit because it gets lost in translation. Tones get lost. If I'm talking to you individually, then it doesn't come out the same way as it would if I was sending you a message. So stop with that bullshit. But people got real disrespectful with some other sports groups, which is why I made my group because I can kind of monitor the shit that's said, even though we're gonna take it to the edge in my group as well. We're gonna take it as far to the edge as we can go without going over that edge of being disrespectful. Guy told me I was an attention whore. Like the fact that you even put that term on me was disrespectful. And then when I called him out on it, he said, I didn't call you that. I asked you, you like being an attention whore. Because I had a lot of shit to say about Lamar Jackson. Well, that's another thing I can't stand about social media is, fake social media thugs. He wouldn't say that shit to me in my face. He wouldn't ask me no bullshit like that to my face. But we hide behind the camera, we hide behind the phone. And I am by no stretch of the imagination no hardcore thugged out dude that's a street dude. That ain't me. Never have been me. But I ain't no bitch neither. So it's certain things you ain't gonna be able to say to me, and I'm just gonna allow it. Another guy had a nerve to talk about my name. Because everybody know on my Facebook page, my name is Derek Suge Jefferson, and his response was, "Who's listening to somebody named Suge?" Well, a whole lot of motherfuckers listen to a dude named Suge Knight. I'm no Suge Knight by any stretch of the imagination, but that's my name. I was given that name at birth, and I love my fucking name. And it's disrespectful for you to even come at me about my name. But again, if we're in the street, if we talking face to face, you're not gonna be that disrespectful. You're not gonna say shit like that to me, and it's because it's not gonna go well. So even on social media, I'm just not gonna allow it. Even family, I got went back and forth with my uncle Skyler yesterday, and it's all love. That's my brother. He's my uncle, but he's my brother. I've always looked up to him. Um, his his professionalism, the shit that he's done in his life. Graduated from Jackson State, got drafted by the Seattle Mariners, you know, in the Jackson State Sports University Hall of Fame right now, uh, coaching their country day, coach kids in the summer. Phenomenal dude. That's my guy. But he has a habit of telling people what they can and can't say. So if his response to me was, if Lamar Jackson won the Super Bowl, you can't give him credit because he ain't your guy. Well, I can, and I will, if he does it the right way. If he does it the way that I think he's not able to do it. If he win the Super Bowl and he don't do it that way, I'm gonna say, good shit, Lamar, you deserved it. But I still ain't seen you do what I said you can't do. So it is what it is. Um, that's enough for the scripted Lamar Jackson. Let's talk about these Bucks and this Lions game today. I know Detroit is fired up, second straight week with a home playoff game. Got the goddamn pregame show on right now. They're interviewing Dan Campbell. And look, Lions fans, we are real, and I'm gonna take a word from 97 won the ticket. We're real chesty about this game today. I'm gonna first say that I've been a Baker Mayfield guy since day one. Oklahoma, Cleveland, everywhere he's been, I've been a Baker Mayfield guy. Um, does he have flaws? Hell yeah. Baker has a lot of flaws. But one thing you can't say about him, you can't say that he's not. He's definitely tough, and he's a winner. He took Cleveland to the playoffs, and he was a bullshit penalty away that wasn't called from beating the Kansas City Chiefs in the playoffs. Won a playoff game in Cleveland for the first time in forever, just like Jared Goff did for Detroit. Team was 9-8 this year, so they look at the record and say, "Oh, they're not a good team." Well, that's bullshit. Um, they're a very good team. Defensively, they got guys. They're linebackers. Vita Vea in the middle, defensive tackle. You know, David, the linebacker. Then they got Antoine Winfield in the second. They got guys at every level that can play. And yes, we got guys too. My Lions got guys too, but this shit ain't about to be no cakewalk. I'm hearing people 36-10 and 42-21. And look, it could very well go that way. I just don't see it going that way. Yesterday, my predictions were Baltimore would win against Houston. Um, it'll be close early, but they will pull away late, which they did. I thought San Francisco was going to blow the doors off Green Bay. That surprised me, but I did pick San Fran to win. Detroit, and Tampa Bay. I expect Detroit to win this game. I expect my Lions to be playing in San Francisco next week in the NFC Championship game. Playing an NFC Championship game for the first time since 1991. Well, we got killed by the Washington Redskins before they became the Commanders, obviously. But it ain't gonna be easy. Um, we have a defense that bends but don't break. That could be a recipe for disaster. I'm noticing a trend in the NFL playoffs that teams that make it to the red zone but only kick field goals don't win games. Green Bay made it to the red zone a few times, had to kick field goals. They lost. Last week, the Rams made it to the red zone 3 times, 3 field goals. Lions made it to the red zone 3 times, 3 touchdowns. You make it to the red zone, you got to score touchdowns. The Lions are giving people statistics, giving people the 20s, in between the 20s, from the 20-yard line to the 20-yard line. They're letting them do whatever they want to do in between the 20s. But once it gets to that red zone, they're shutting it down and they're holding teams to field goals. And then they're going down and getting touchdowns. I don't know how sustainable that is. Our secondary is susceptible to big plays. You got Chris Godwin. You got Mike Evans. Rashad White is not much of a runner, but he can catch the ball out of the backfield. Cade Otto at tight end. They got guys, and they got Baker Mayfield who can get him the ball if given time. James Houston is back. I'm not sure how much he's going to play, but let's hope his presence can help the pass rush because Aiden can't do it by himself. We have to get a pass rush on Baker Mayfield. Yes, we beat them in the first time beat them this year 20-6 in Tampa. We had a lot of guys injured. Jared Goff had a hell of a game that day, but Tampa shut the run down, which is what we do well. Tampa's gonna blitz, so we gotta make quick throws. We gotta get Laporta and Amaron involved. We gotta hit the screen with Jameer Gibbs. Because we don't throw screens to the receivers often. We throw those wide receiver screens way out in the flat or way out on the sideline. But we don't really throw any screens in the flats. We got to get some tight end screens. We gotta do things to disrupt that blitz because Jared Goff, even though for some reason people think he's not good against the blitz, he's actually one of the better quarterbacks in the NFL statistically against the blitz. So pay attention. That's going to be important. Um, but we gotta be able to run the ball. Got to be able to run the ball because that sets up the play action, and that's what they do well. I don't predict scores. I just say, hey, I think the Lions going to win. Being at home, that home crowd, I think it's going to be huge. Being healthy offensive line, I think we'll be able to maintain the blitz. We're going to give up some big plays because that's what we do. Mike Evans might have 150 yards receiving, like Puka Nacua did last week. But we keep him out of the end zone. We score touchdowns, get them field goals. We should be able to win the game. Buffalo, Kansas City. Oh, let me go back to something. Jared Goff. Why are there still people that wants Jared Goff that don't think Jared Goff is the future of this team? I don't understand. Like Lions fans, if you could please help me out with why um, you guys think Jared Goff isn't the future? Isn't the future for the next 2 to 3 to 4 years? Why you don't want to give him a contract extension? And let's not talk about money and who they gotta pay, who they don't gotta pay, because they can figure all that shit out. The salary cap go up every year, damn near, and they can figure out how to structure his contract to whereas they can pay all the guys that's upcoming. You're always gonna lose players. That's just the way the NFL works. You're always gonna lose a guy or two that you probably wanted to keep because the market for them is gonna be way higher than what you're willing to pay, and that's okay. But Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell has proven that they're able to sustain stuff like that. They're able to identify in the draft or a free agency guys that they can bring in and they can develop and they can play in the immediate. We had a lot of injuries and guys stepped in and played well. That's a testament to the organization. But back to Jared Goff, it seems to me like Lions fans are trying to do exactly to Jared Goff what the Rams did to him. The Rams made it to a Super Bowl with this guy and then said, "You're not good enough," and traded him to Detroit. Now that he's almost or could possibly be playing in the NFC Championship game for the Detroit Lions, won a division for the Detroit Lions for the first time in 32 years, 31 years, won a playoff game, playing the second home playoff game, and there's still people out there that don't want to pay him and want to start or want to bring in somebody younger. So essentially, what you're going to do is you're going to let Jared Goff create all these accolades and do all these firsts for Detroit that hadn't been done in decades, and then you're gonna throw him to the wayside. Well, that's exactly what the Rams did to him. So why you want to do that to that guy? Help me out. Help me understand it. Um, Look, it worked for the Rams because they won a Super Bowl. We get rid of Goff, we ain't getting no Matthew Stafford to come in here and win a Super Bowl for us. Everybody want Hendon Hooker. Hendon Hooker is 26 years old. So when is he supposed to start playing? And not only is he 26, he ain't took a snap in the NFL yet. Not one snap has he taken in the NFL. So why are we so high on Hendon Hooker? Why? Because he's mobile? Well, look, I heard on 97.1 The Ticket, and I don't listen to them all the time anymore because I know just as much as they know, in my opinion. Mike Valenti broke it down and said, how many mobile quarterbacks have won Super Bowls? And he ran it off the list of them in the last 15, 20 years. Patrick Mahomes is mobile. But Patrick Mahomes is sitting in that pocket and pick your ass apart. He runs when he have to. But guys who are like run first quarterbacks or mobile quarterbacks, they don't win Super Bowls. It's just that's just a fact. Y'all like to talk about facts all the time. That's a fact. Josh Allen ain't won a Super Bowl. You know, Jalen Hurts didn't win one. Lamar Jackson ain't won one. Um, Kyler Murray ain't win one, ain't coming close to winning one. So, Patrick Mahomes is a one-on-one. He's one of the best quarterbacks to ever do it. But Joe Burrow been to a Super Bowl. He ain't win one, though. But he's not mobile. He's a pocket guy. So look at the history of the NFL. I ain't going to do the work for you. I can tell you. But if you want to do the research yourself, do the research yourself. Look at the history of the NFL. Mobile quarterbacks don't win Super Bowls. So extremely mobile quarterbacks, run first quarterbacks. You got to have a pocket passer. You got to have a guy that can throw darts in the pocket and get you first downs with his arm, not just his legs. You got to be both. You got to be able to do a little bit of both. Now, Goff is not good with his legs. I get that. But shit, man, what more do we got to do? What more do we got to do before you guys say, okay, he's the guy for the next 3 to 4 years? I don't understand. You're just going to throw him away like the Rams did. And that's fine if that's what y'all want to do, but trust me, y'all might as well get over that shit because Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell is gonna pay that man $40 to $45 million a year. You watch and see. That's gonna happen. So look, Lions, I think the Lions will win today. Um, I'm sure Detroit is rocking right now. Uh, so look, but you can't be chesty about it, man. You can't be because this shit ain't about to be easy. Tampa Bay ain't no slouch. That's just what I believe. And again, these debates and these talk shows or podcasts or whoever you listen to, whoever you watch on a regular basis, whether it be a celebrity podcast, whether it be just a regular dude like me, whether it be whatever sports group you in, all this shit is based on opinion. It ain't gotta be personal. Well, it can be passionate because that's what I am. I'm passionate about this shit. This is why I do this. I don't have to do this shit. Look, this whole setup is so bland and basic, but I don't bother me. I just want to sit here and talk sports with people and not have to defend or not have to feel like you're disrespecting me by shit that you're saying. Calling me names and you're gonna get some of that. I'm sure the celebrity talking heads, they get called names all the time. It's just some assholes out there. And it takes an asshole to know an asshole. But I'm a different kind of asshole. I don't talk about people. I don't call people names. I don't call people out their name. I don't, that ain't who I am. I might be sarcastic. I might say you don't know what the fuck you talking about. Or I might, there's a lot of things I can say to kind of get a dig in there because that's what I do. That's a Jefferson trait. If you're a Jefferson, you know what I mean. We can get a dig in there without totally disrespecting you and calling you a name. That's what we do. I'm just not cut like that. So let's start with the disrespectful shit, man. And I know the guys that's in my other sports groups aren't in here um, to hear me say this, but it's not. I mean, it's not going to be tolerated. We can have a debate and conversation about players and have an opinion about players, and it be fun, and it just be a back and forth. I remember I used to get with my guys, Milton, Marv, and Kay, and Dro, Ronnie, and Dante, Courtney. You know, we used to get together, man, play video games, watch a game, do whatever, and we talk sports. And trust me, our wives would look at us like, who the fuck are these people? They screaming, they hollering, they cussing each other out, but it was always all love because that's what we did. That's sports. Sports does that to people. It brings people together. It can tear people apart, but that's only the people that let it get too personal. We don't know these goddamn athletes. We don't know these people. We just have a difference of opinion. The LeBron Jordan debate has separated so many people. It's ridiculous. You know, it goes to the point where I just stopped talking about it. So let's be respectful, man. Let's be respectful. Um, Buffalo, Kansas City tonight. Um, Look, I know my man Rico. I found out he's a Buffalo fan a few months back. I didn't know too many Buffalo fans, but I I, I I'm rooting for Buffalo, man. Look, um, those 4 Super Bowls. I know my boy Milton. He always Milton. I just call him Milton. My man Milt. He um he said he would rather be Lions fans than be Buffalo fan because going to 4 Super Bowls and not winning one is worse than what happened with the Lions. And I don't know if that's I don't like that. I don't know if that's true. Um, I would rather go to Super Bowl if I could just get to one with my team. I would be happy. Losing 4 in a row, I know that shit is heartbreaking, but god damn, I would rather go to 4 in a row and lose than not go to any at all. Because you can't win it if you ain't in it. You know, it's hard to win the championship. Look, think about this. I've played sports my whole life. I played little league baseball, little league football. I played high school baseball. Went to college to play baseball. Didn't play much, but I went. I did go. Um, Winning a championship at any level. I won championships in little league, E-Course Reds, Pepper Road. I won championships in like church leagues and just regular leagues that you play in. At any level, winning a championship is hard. Winning a championship is hard. Getting to a championship is hard as well. So if you don't get there, you don't have an opportunity to win it. So look, I just want to hey, getting there. If you get there, anything can happen. Unfortunately for the Buffalo Bills, anything did happen, and they lost 4 in a row. So look, I think Buffalo's going to pull it out this week. Um, the Chiefs are their nemesis. Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes, that's their nemesis. Everybody's been killing Kansas City all season about the season that they've had, about the players dropping passes. Even though these guys won a Super Bowl last year, I know Juju Smith-Schuster is not playing, and he was like the number 1 guy last year. But as long as you got Patrick Mahomes, you got a chance to win. I don't give a fuck if it's in Buffalo, in Switzerland, or wherever. You got Pat, you got a chance to win. But I think Buffalo is on a different mission. They started 6-6. They have come from that, won a division, won their first playoff game. Now it's on to Kansas City in Buffalo. First time Patrick Mahomes has to play on the road in the playoffs that wasn't the Super Bowl, which is actually a neutral site. It's not the road. So I expect Buffalo to win tonight. And I expect next week's NFC Championship games to be 1 seeds versus 2 seeds. The Detroit Lions is a 2 seeds, going to go to San Fran. And then Baltimore, the 1 seed, is going to host the Buffalo Bills next week. And then we'll see what happens. Um, I'm hoping, I want to see I talked to my man Marv last night. He was saying Lions are on the revenge tour. Well, they don't need revenge from Tampa Bay because they already beat them before. He was thinking Green Bay was going to be the team that they played, and they lost to them on Thanksgiving. But look, I want to see Detroit and Buffalo. Um, I wouldn't mind seeing Detroit and Baltimore because then, hey, we gotta to beat a man, you gotta beat the man. And that's what Ric Flair say. So Baltimore, they look like they're the man right now. If Buffalo can't beat them next week, or the Chiefs can't beat them next week, whoever play them, hey, look, I want my Lions to be the team to try. I want the Super Bowl out here in Las Vegas, where I live, to have the Detroit Lions in it, because I want all my peeps coming to town, and I'm gonna fuck with all y'all. Wherever we at, wherever we go, we gonna have a ball. So let's root for them Lions. Let's try to get them this dub this week. Let's try to get the dub next week. And let's get the Lions out here to the Super Bowl, man. We can take over Las Vegas. Detroit can take over this city. Trust me. And I've been telling people all around the city of Las Vegas, if the Lions make the Super Bowl, this shit is going to be Detroit West. They're going to be everywhere. We're going to be everywhere. So it's going to be some good games today, man. It's going to be some good ones. But look, check it. I told you I was coming on. I didn't get many people come on to watch. That's cool. Y'all ain't got to watch. I do this shit for fun. I love to talk sports because that's who I am, the doctor of sports, D. Jeff. I appreciate y'all watching. Look, I'll be back. I might come on after the game, win or lose, um, just to see where everybody had at after the game. So stay tuned for that. Doctor of Sports. Sports is my medicine. I appreciate you listening. Look, y'all, subscribe to the YouTube channel. I'm on YouTube too. Check me out in the group. Invite people to the group. Let's interact in the group more. The more interaction, the more debates, the better the group's gonna be. Again, I made this group because I'm in other groups that people are totally disrespectful. So I want to be able to monitor some of the bullshit that goes on, and most of the people in the group are going to be my peoples. So we all got love for each other, and it's all love and respect. So invite people that love sports and want to interact and do shit as a group, as a sports group, because you just love sports. Even if you just watch the shit for gambling purposes or whatever your vice is, whatever the thing you do, invite somebody to the group. Let's have a good time. I'm planning on doing the NCAA tournament bracket. We can try to win some money. Um, we gonna have some fun, man. Some respectful fun, not like the bullshit I've been having to deal with the last couple of days. The bullshit I ain't gonna deal with, cause like I said, I ain't no motherfucking killer. I ain't no thug, but I ain't no bitch neither. So I ain't just gonna let people talk to me any kind of way. So look, appreciate you guys. Go Lions. Hey, see my Michigan up there, national champs, baby. I'm gonna always shout them out. Go blue. Um, let's go Lions. Let's get this dub. Doctor of Sports. Sports is my medicine. I'm out.